Okay, like we were talking, how do I have two switches? Actually, one being the accessories terminal, because if I feed power to this, I light up my accessories circuit and everything is going to become active again. From the switch to here. So I've got actually two power wires going into the relay. So how do you fix that? You use a diode. Now, you can pick these up again off of eBay. These are 10 amp diodes. And I can't get this thing to focus very decent for you here. God dang it. There we go. Okay. So, 10 amp diode. And the way a diode works, it's basically a check valve for electricity. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Power will only transfer through this one way. And on a diode, you're going to have power going through from when this ring is here. You see a silver ring here on a diode. That's the side that the power is going out from. So power is fed in here, will go through here. But if power comes back through this side, trying to go backwards this way, it can't. That's what the purpose of a diode is. That's why your LEDs and stuff will do the same thing. They're diodes. They will stop power. They won't work one way. They only work powered up the correct way. So this is the same thing. So what I did is I took a diode, put it in the power wire from my accessories circuit here to the relay. Okay? You don't have to put one in going back to the switch, because the switch isn't going to do anything if it's in the off position or the on position. It really doesn't matter. You're feeding power from one. It's not going to backfeed through the switch in any way that's going to kill the system. So that goes back doing that. So when I turn my accessories on, I have only my fuse block lit up, but I don't have anything working when it comes to the wiper switch or anything that I don't want to work when the key is off. You can leave that on, start it, run it, do your stuff, shut it off. This is how you know, if you're doing it around the yard, you want to leave the radio going, you can have it on all the time, or anything else you want to leave run. Okay? If I have this off and I turn the key on, everything comes on like it's supposed to. Turn this fan off. Okay. So everything's on. This is run mode. If I have the switch on, nothing else changes. Everything still works. I shut the key off. Again, I have to wait for it to shut down because of the timed shutdown General has, and I think most of the Polarises have now, like a car. So you're going to have your time shut off. You're going to watch my gauges will go dead to tell you that it actually shut off because the dash is already off. See how that went off? But I still have radio. I still have my accessories, unless this switch is off. Now everything's dead. Okay? So I can help anybody wire up the relays however you want to do certain things. It'll probably be easier on each thing to do that. What I'm going to go into now is turn signal lights and backup lights, if that's what you're looking to do. So again, more relays. If you want to do the setup like I did completely, I'm going to go through that in a minute. It's going to get a little more complicated because of the Phoenix flasher introduced into the system. But let's just say you want to do turn signals. The only thing you really need to do with turn signals, and like LED lights for that matter, if you want to get Phoenix, or there's tons of lights out there that work the exact same way. So when you're looking at okay, this is the Phoenix one, for example. There's only 3 wires coming out of these. Okay, you got a red, black, and a blue. Red's your positive, black is ground, pretty self-explanatory. But the blue is something that you look at and you go, what the heck do I use that for, right? All right, blue is your pattern changer and sync. So in this case, what you want to do is, since all the lights that you'll find that have the same type of system, and most of them work this way, whether it's Phoenix, Whalen, I haven't found anybody that really has done something completely different yet, but that doesn't mean it can't be, so you're going to have to look at that and see. But each one of these lights has 3 wires coming off the back, and you can set the modes of each of these lights. I would recommend taking each of these lights and setting the mode that you want. If you're going to do just turn signals, the easiest way to do it at that point is to basically set them all to the flash pattern you want it to be the signal. Okay? So all you have to do is hook up to a battery. You can do this with a car battery or whatever you want to do. Hook your positive and negative up so that it lights the light. And then you're going to take that blue pattern changer wire. Come on, focus. It isn't focusing. There we go. The blue pattern changer sync wire, and then you're going to ground that. Every time you ground it, it's going to go to the next mode, and it'll show. All you want to do is set all your lights to the same mode. Have them all set, have them all sitting off to the side, all together. That way you're done setting your modes. So when you're all done with this and you have it wired up in the system, you don't have to go back and try and figure out how to do all this. Because if they're off sync and you're going to have one sync wire running all of them, they're all going to ground at the same time, which is going to make it a mess to try and get them into the right correct sync for you. So let's just say you don't want to do the Phoenix flasher pattern and do the whole thing that I've got going here. All you need to do is hook up your lights, front and rear, front and rear, like however you want to do that, or upper one and front, or however you want to do that. Run positive from each light to the front. Negative can actually be put to the ground of the vehicle, so you can just find a ground that works. That's whether it be frame mount, chassis. I mean, everything's a ground on these things. I mean, your roll cage, everything. Okay, so you can just ground that to that. You don't have to run separate wires all the way to the front because of that. But if you're not going to use a flash or sync mode to this, you need to run the sync wire to each one of the lights all the way to the front, or all together. It doesn't have to be the front, but all the lights that you're putting in for the one side. So if it's right side that you want to have synced and left side you want to have synced, those have to be run with that sync wire so that they all flash in unison. Otherwise they're going to go out. They're never going to flash exactly the same. So this one will start flashing, and that one will start flashing a little differently. Pretty soon it looks like you just got a strobe pattern going. It's just confusing as hell. So if that's all you want to do, that's very simple to do. You just put it on, wire all the powers together, wire all the syncs together, and ground each one to the closest ground you can find. Hit the switch to power up that side. There's your turn signal, because the mode pattern that you picked is going to be your flash pattern. But we're going to go a step further. I'm going to take these lights and we're going to go to the Phoenix flasher, and I'm going to stop here for just a second and start a new one. Be back in a sec.